Yes, 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 yes. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What is going on? Okay. How's everybody doing? It is another Wednesday evening, and I'm back with this mic again. How does it look? Does it look good? Can you hear me? Are you hearing me okay? How does one sound? Does one sound good? Does one sound bad? Does one sound okay? Boom. Let's get some tunes. Yeah, what's going on? So, thank you, 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 thank you very much, thank you very much. All right, so I've got this really interesting contraption going on down here. I haven't turned the lights on, so you can see me in all of my glory. Woo! There we go. There we go. Okay. Yes. Yes. And another yes. Yeah, I've got this interesting contraption going on here. It's so I'm gonna have to take a picture and show it to you. I've put the light on the mic stand. What's that? I've put the light on the mic stand in front of me, and I've got this kind of radio stand thingy that used to have the light on it, but now the mic's on it, and it's clamped to my desk. So I'm hoping that I don't kick it over or something. I think it's pretty tight, but you never know. And I earlier I put my weight on it, so I put my body, well, not my full body, but I pressed down to see if it would move, and it didn't move. Then I put the mic on and it started to slip. I was like, what's going on? Anyway, new setup. I don't know how long this is going to last because it's might be a bit of a hazard. But yeah, here we are, Wednesday, 17th of January, 17 days in. 17 days in. If I've not seen you for the new year, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you. How long do we say Happy New Year for? Do we keep saying Happy New Year until the month is old? Until like February? Until the next festival or the next holiday or the next celebratory period? Is that what we do? Or do we say Happy New Year? And when does the year get old? When does the year get old? I don't know. I think if I see someone after Valentine's and maybe after Easter, I would say Happy New Year, Happy Yeah, just as a joke. But actually, if you've not seen anyone, I suppose you should wish them a Happy New Year, isn't it? So yeah, I guess if you've not seen someone all year and you see them in October, nah, the year's old by then. The year's old by then. The question is, when do you stop saying Happy New Year? That's not even what we're talking about today. We're talking about being decisive, making decisions. And when do you decide when it's a good time or a bad time to greet someone with a Happy New Year? Well, the tunes are on. My tea is here. We've started the live. I'm still trying to get better at the intro. I'm still trying to get better at the intro and timing it. And I'm thinking about using a different platform than StreamYard. Unless there's some hotkeys or something that I could use that I'm not utilizing. But honestly, this thing is becoming so technical. I got lights, I got all sorts of stuff going on. You know, it's getting so technical that I definitely need to see if there's another way of me doing this that's easier for me and still enjoyable for you as well. So yeah, I stopped from the 4th like it's hit the ground running already. The 4th of January, that's too early. Surely that's too early. I'm still saying Happy New Year. the 4th. At least give it a week. And do you know what? Maybe for some people, the new year started last year. The new year started in the old year because you started thinking about what's happening in January and you're literally hitting the ground running. I love that. I love that. You were prepared and you were ready. I like that. Right. All right. So we've got the tunes. Do we have tea? Is there tea? Does anyone have tea? Do you guys have tea? Actually, tell me. Do you guys have tea on the live stream with me or not? So that fireplace is roaring, boy. I can feel it. I can feel the heat. I can feel the heat. I love it. It's good. All right. So we got the tunes. We got the tea. The live has started. When the tea ends, the live ends. So yeah, I've asked you how you've been doing, and we just started talking about when you stop saying Happy New Year, right? But in January, there's something called January Blues, or there's Blue Monday. When is Blue Monday? Is Blue Monday? Let me try and see. Let's have a quick Google. Blue Monday. Is it the third? Is it the third Monday in January? Wikipedia. You can always trust Wikipedia. Blue Monday is the name given to a date in January, typically the third Monday of the month. So have we had the third Monday? It was just the 1, 2, 3. So this Monday, who felt a little bit down on Monday? I don't know if it's a thing. I feel like sometimes this stuff is just stuff that people say and then people latch onto it and they're like, yeah, I was feeling blue in this day. Or is it a real thing? Is it a real thing to have Blue Monday or to have January blues? Is it a real thing? So, I mean, a few years ago, I had heard about this and I was like, I ain't catching no January blues. So I made a decision that I wouldn't have January blues. I'm going to open something else here so I can see any comments. Listen, the fire is raging. Listen. I need to do some stuff to that fireplace actually. I need to repaint it. Anyway, I'll talk about all the DIY stuff when spring comes around. Speaking of DIY, do you see this? This is embarrassing. Me and Tiff talk about this all the time. This plant, right? All the leaves just died, withered, they went, right? And then we took them off. They turned black. I think they didn't like when we moved them or something. We moved the plant from one place. No, we repotted it. And then like slowly the plant started dying. And then there was one that came out last month. And that made me so happy. I was like, yes, it's back to life. It's still living. I mean, the stem is green. So like there's hope. But then that one, before it even like opened up, expanded fully, it was black. I was like, what's going on? So we Googled and we found out that actually the roots are, if the roots are rotten or it's been overwatered, they can turn black. And the best way to do it is to take it out, but we didn't do all of that. So anyway, it's been really warm in this room around Christmas because we've got the fireplace on and it's been cold and we got heaters on and it's hot in the house. And I think it might have dried out the soil. And I think that that's done some good for this plant because I see 3 new leaves coming. So I think being close to the fire in winter has helped. 3 new leaves coming out, maybe 4 actually, and I'm really excited about this. Anyway, why did I start talking about that? Because of the fire? Yes. So, right. Anyway, back to the live. January blues. So I decided a few years ago that I didn't want to have January blues, right? And yeah, I just didn't want to feel down, and I think I didn't want to feel like everyone else. I didn't want to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to work on Monday and boo hoo hoo, I have no money left and blah blah blah, spent it all on Christmas or whatever. So I decided that when Blue Monday was coming, I would do something to uplift myself to make sure that I wasn't feeling down. Because actually, sometimes if you start feeling a certain way at the beginning of something, that can just, snowball, and it can keep going until you just feel that way all the time. I was like, I don't want to have that. So I made a decision. And having made a decision made me think about the decisions that we make, because the decision that I made not to experience January blues or Blue Monday again was quite decisive. And I'm not the most decisive person. Well, it depends on what's happening or what we're doing, but I'm not usually the most decisive person, like, bam, I'm gonna do it. I'm not like a bull in a china shop just going for it. That's not my personality. I'm more of a reflector. So that decision got me thinking about how decisive I am, and when I'm decisive and when I'm not, right? And it got me thinking about how decisive you are and we are, as a community, as people, as individuals. How decisive or not decisive are we, and why are we like that? And I think in this paradox, there are three types of people, right? Three types of people. Those who make decisions and figure out the rest later. And I admire those people. Like, honestly, if you are able to just say, I want to do X, Y, Z, and you go do it, and like figure out the rest as you go along, hats off to you. And then there are those who take a while to take action. Maybe they're thinking about it. Maybe they're contemplating whether it's the right thing to do. They're figuring things out. What would happen if I do this, or if I didn't do this, right? There's a bit more of maybe calculations happening there. And then there's a third person, those who know what to do and do nothing. Those who choose to do nothing. And I think these things are like, what is it? Fight, flight, fright. How does it go? Psychologist. Anyone? Psychologist? Is it fright? Let me just Google this thing. Fight, flight. I learned this in GCSE psychology, Flight, fright, freeze. There you go. Fight, flight, or freeze. So there are those who make a decision, figure out the rest later, they're quick, and then those who take a while to take action, and then there are those who know what to do and do nothing. Which one are you? First question of the evening. Which one are you? Are you super decisive? Figure out things later? Or do you take action? Or do you take a while to take action? Or you don't do anything? Are you a procrastinator? Ooh. So I had a friend, an entrepreneur person that I was working with, and his background, their background was in sales. Their background was in sales. This was a few years ago, and we were like pretty much the opposite. We were both quite charismatic, so we got on well in that regard. We're quite sociable, but this person was like a shark. He's just like, I want to do this thing, I'm going to do it, I'm going to figure out the rest later, let's just set this up and let's go. And me, on the other hand, I'm like, okay, here's a strategy. If we start here, then we do this, then we do that, and And I think that us working together was a really great mix, because we met in the middle, and it meant that I would think about things that he wouldn't have thought about, and like he would be like, we have to just take action, we have to keep moving before we lose the opportunity, right? Or lose momentum, which like both are so important. But and I think knowing what you want or what outcome you want, like generally, is one of those things that make you take action quite quickly, right? Like if you're looking for a car and there's a type of car that you want, but you maybe not sure what make and model you want yet, but you want a hatchback, it's a 5-door, right? And then you see one that looks right? You see one that looks right, you like the way it looks, you have a look inside, maybe you do a little bit of research, and then you buy it without considering all the other hatchbacks, right? And it's kind of like you found the thing that you want. And there's some people in some situations where you don't really know what you want yet, so you have to have comparison. You have to compare this hatchback to that one, to that one, to that one, and you do all this kind of stuff, right? And then maybe it takes you a bit longer, and there's nothing wrong with both sides, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with both sides. I think on both sides, you'd have those people who will like, bam, figure out, and that's their personality, there goes. And those people who take their time and they have some strategy to do competitive analysis, comparative analysis, and they do all sorts of stuff. And it works out well. So it can work out well for both people. But on the flip side, it can be a hindrance to progress in your life in whatever you're trying to do as well. So I think, based on your personality, I think it's important to know which one you are. Are you the procrastinator? Are you the person that takes a while to figure it out? Do you like to have a strategy, a plan in place? Or are you the person who just says, I know what I want, I'm going to go for it, figure it out as we go along? As you know, I like asking questions, and I enjoy helping people to have something to think about, which is what this show is about. It's called Let's Talk. And I forgot to invite you. So I'm going to put the link in the chat. If you want to join in, please do. Click this link. If I like you, I'll let you in. If I don't, dear me. So I sometimes think that I'm an overthinker, an overanalyzer, but that's not necessarily true for all things. And I don't know if I've experienced analysis paralysis. Have you? Have any of you ever experienced analysis paralysis? Do you know what it is? I mean, I think the words explain it really. Analysis paralysis. You're paralyzed while you're analyzing. That sounds like something a Rasta would say in it. You're paralyzed while you analyze. You're paralyzed while you analyze, my youth. All right, so yeah. Have you heard of analysis paralysis? I don't think I've ever. Maybe I have, actually. Maybe I have. And I think, actually, that if I'm overanalyzing in my mind, rather than writing it down and making notes, that's when I become paralyzed and I don't do anything, and it's almost like freeze. Yes, that's it. Thanks. Thank you for helping me. I told you this thing is like therapy, innit? Thank you for helping me discover something this evening. So today, I actually did something amazing. And this is something that I've been putting off for a while. I've been wanting to do this since last year. Now, usually I meet up with my mastermind and we plan the year and we decide what we're going to work on, what we're going to achieve throughout the year. And we didn't do that last year for a number of reasons, but we decided that we'll try some things individually. And I had a thought about it, but while I did my SWOT analysis, I thought about my SWOT, my strengths, my weaknesses, my opportunities, and my threats. I decided that I would actually plan the year differently. And that thing that I've been putting off, is for me to plan the first 90 days of 2024. The 90 days. What's that one thing that I want to achieve in 2024? And can I make it happen in 90 days? Like the pressure, the intensity. And I think I've been putting this off simply because I know that it will take some effort. And I wasn't certain of how much capacity I have to put in whatever I perceive the effort to be. But actually writing it down and putting a plan in place, like a real plan and strategy in place, actually helped me to plan the next 90 days. And I've almost done it. Norman Johnson, welcome. Thank you for coming on. Big D. Yes, Big D. Big D, I know who you are. Yes, what's going on, my brother? Happy to have you over. So, Norman Johnson, I'm honored. Do you know why? Because your live's amazing. Have you seen my intro? Have you seen since that conversation that we had? Yeah. When was it? Was it New Year's? Since that conversation we had, I went and I did an intro. All right, for you guys who've seen the intro already, I'm just gonna play this intro. I mean, I could tell him to go and watch from the beginning, but what's the point? Like, just let me just show him the intro. Is that okay? Do you know what? I know that there's this thing on YouTube where you could do whatchamacallit, like the hearts and the rest of it, and I don't. So let me try and see if I can see that, because if you guys are sending me hearts and all sorts, I'm not seeing it because I don't see it on StreamYard. So anyway, I think you've seen it, but anyway, I'm honored to have you because you inspired me. So thank you. Like, I've upped my game in 2024. That doesn't rhyme, but it makes sense. Oh, this is one of my favorite tunes. I can't speak. I'm muffling my words. You know what? The other day, where were we? Me and my wife, we went to visit someone, and we hadn't seen this person for a long time, and we hadn't seen a few people for a long time, and I was smiling a lot, and my cheeks were hurting, and I was like, man, we have to do those vocal exercises, those warm-ups before we go speak to people, so that our faces don't hurt from smiling too much. All right, I'm gonna show you the intro. It's only 24 seconds long. Here it is. Yeah, and that's it. That is it. What do you think? Yeah, how was that transition though? That transition was smooth this time, wasn't it? That was so much better. Like, the intro stopped, the music started, I started talking. Next time, I'm gonna try and see if I could look at the camera when the music starts. Ooh. Wait, mash up the mic. Sounds a little bit technical, but it's all good. Oh yes, so I've got the NJ approval. That's what's up. Wifey says it's nice. Not as nice as you, babe. Okay. So have you guys heard of this thing? It's called like a decision-making matrix. It's called what is it called? Decision-making matrix. And do you know what? There we go, I'll just get it. I did have up an image earlier. Not a matrix, a quadrant. How do you spell that? Quadrant. Right, so here we go. Let's take this one. Eisenhower matrix. Can I make this bigger? Here we go. I'm going to show you the screen. Hopefully this helps you in live. Thanks for the sub, my brother. Appreciate you. Let's go. Let's get those numbers up. Hey guys, if you're watching and you've not liked it yet, smash that like button. Smash it. Why do people say that on YouTube? Smash the like. You can just, you're only pressing it. Appreciate the sub. If you are watching and you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Do me a favor. Do yourself a favor. Again with the words, I can't get them out. A favor and subscribe. Thank you, Skinny Cook. The sound is good. Would love to see the kit. Yeah, I'm gonna show it. The desk is a little bit messy, but I think I'm gonna show it a little bit later. Smash. I love it. So back to the matrix, the quadrant. So I had a coaching session a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about this. So 1, if it's urgent and it's important, then you do it now, right? If it's not so urgent but it's important, you schedule it. If it's less important there's something missing down here. If it's less important but not so urgent, delegate it. That's if you've got a team. Do you know what? There's another one here. And if it's less important and less urgent, just delete. Don't do it. Forget about it. You know what? That one's cool, but there's another one. Let me see if I can find another one. Anyway, I think you get the gist. Let me not bore you with this. I think you get the gist, right? So the idea is knowing what's important and helping to decide what to do. So you might have a list of things that you need to do, and you might say, yes, this is very, very urgent. Let me do it now. In fact, if it's so urgent and you put it in this box, right? Stop doing the planning and just do those things if it's really, really urgent, right? And if it's not so urgent but it's really important, then you want to put it in schedule, put it in your diary, make some time for it. So you get the idea, right? You get the idea. Okay. Let me get back here. Yeah, so I think like that's one of these things. If you're one of those people that like writing stuff and doing stuff, I think that can help you with procrastination. You know what helps me with procrastination is just my self-thought, you know, and the words that I say to myself, like, just get on with it, man, just do it. You know what's going to happen if you do it. You know how good the outcome's going to be if you do X, Y, Z. That really helps me. And if I'm not talking to myself in this way, if I'm not encouraging myself, if I'm not inspiring myself and listening to things that are inspiring, that motivate me, that helps me to take action, then it's like procrastination galore, 100%. What's some of your tips? What's some of your hacks? I know you've got some. I know some of you guys got some. Or you're just so super disciplined. Oh, I can't talk. I cannot talk this evening. Guys, what's going on? What is going on? Maybe that should be a 2024 resolution. Talk properly. So you know what, right? We're talking about decision making, and actually most of my decisions are centered around the impact it will have on my family, my immediate family particularly, and mainly in the long run more than the short term, if I'm being honest, right? But yeah, I think about how it will impact the family. And today my friend sent me something. It was like one of these memes, and it says, in 20 years the only people who will remember you worked late are your kids. The only people who will remember that you worked late are your kids. And that could actually mean one of two things. That could mean one of two things. One, it could mean that they are grateful because they understand that the sacrifice that you made, right? They're grateful for it, especially if you've achieved whatever you're trying to achieve. And even if you didn't, they can still be grateful. Or they might be resentful because it's kind of like, what was I not important, you know? So that is like one of the things that drives me. And like, there's something else that I heard today as well, and was it on a podcast? I don't know. It was somewhere, and this person was saying, talking about this idea of, I've lost my train of thought. What's going on? I've lost my train of thought, like actually properly lost it. Oh my days. Oh, what was I talking about? What did I hear today? I don't know what I heard today. Anyway, the decisions we make, we really want to be thinking about how it's going to impact us later on down the line. Maybe thinking about what your older self or more experienced self might say to your younger self if they were to meet you just before you made this decision, or even after you made the decision, right? What would they say? I really lost my train of thought there. I don't know what happened. Take your eyes off the screen for a minute and then you just lose it all. All right. So, etymology. So the word decide comes from the Latin word decidere, apparently. And it's a combination of two words, de, which is off, and cedere, I don't know how you say that, which is cut, right? So it's literally And I've heard a few people say this, like deciding literally means to cut off. So you're saying no to everything else. You're forsaking everything else because you're going this way. And that is quite interesting. Do you know, whenever the music stops, I feel like I need to lower my voice and talk a little bit like this. Have you noticed? All right, cool. So a few questions to help us along the way. Just a few questions that's going to help us along the way. Just three questions to help us make better decisions, make the right decisions that's right for us. Are you ready? I'm ready. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right, what is important to you? That is the number one question. What's important to you? Or yeah, it might be the top 3 things, maybe just 2 or 3 things. What's important to you? What's important to you? So a lot of times I get a lot of people offering me opportunities to do XYZ. They've seen my skills, they want to work with me, and I have to decide whether I'm going to work with them or not. And a lot of time it comes down to what's important to me, right? What's important to me, and do I have the time to do it? But then equally, it comes down to whether or not their values align with mine, right? So the second question is, what are your values? What do you hold valuable? What's important to you, and what are your values? And then thirdly, third question, what would your future self say about the decision you are about to make? What would your future self say about the decision you are about to make, either before or after you've made it? And I think that sometimes actually, you know what, this comes from a reflector, right? This comes from someone, this is coming from someone who would take a little bit of time to come up with a plan or a strategy to do something, obviously, right? Maybe someone else who's a bit more like, yeah, let's just go, let's just do it and figure out the rest later. They might have 3 different questions. But I think from working with some people who are like snappy and ready to go quickly, I think they are really quite clear on what's important to them and what their values are. Maybe they're not going to stop to think about the decision in terms of what their future self might say, but maybe they already know what their future self might say and they'll just go for it. Because I find when I've been decisive, I know what's important to me and I know this thing aligns with my values, and also I'm kind of being my future self now, so I'm making the right decision that my future self will be proud of, right? Right? I think so. Tea is almost done. Really happy to have you guys on. If you want to come in the final moments of the show, please do so. I'd be happy to have you. I'd be happy to have a little chitty chat about decision making. So you know what? We all have our strengths and weaknesses, right? But the reality is opportunities don't care about those. They don't care about your strengths, your weaknesses, right? As they will always present themselves. There's always an opportunity waiting for you. There's always an opportunity that's going to come up that you're going to see. So they don't care about your strengths and your weaknesses. But if you're a thinker or you're a reflector like me, or you're more decisive, what matters is how ready and prepared you are for whatever the opportunity is. It's about being ready and prepared. I think on a previous live, I spoke about the difference between being ready and being prepared, right? So basically, you're ready is like a mindset. Being prepared is that you have the skills, the tool sets, and all the things lined up. You're good to go, right? So for example, if you're ready to leave the house, but you're not prepared to leave the house in rainy weather, 2 different things, right? Mindset is I'm ready to go, want to go. You go outside, but you're not prepared for what's to come, right? Anyway, what matters is how ready and prepared you are for whatever the opportunity is when it presents itself. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been real. It's been great to have you on. It's been great to see your comments, to see your bubbly, flashy hearts and stuff. Yes, Micah McLean Talks. Good to have you. Hey, check out Micah McLean. Google YouTube. Michael McKean Talks. He's doing some really, really cool interviews as well. But yeah, it's been real. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful evening. I hope you have a wonderful next 7 days. I hope you have the sweetest of dreams and the sweetest of rest tonight, and you wake up in the morning feeling refreshed and ready to take on the world and smash your goals. Yes. Listen, have a good one. Take care. Listen to the last tune. Enjoy it. Do it big. Go hard, or go home. Peace. See you next time.